everyone, welcome to part 3 of our underwater ribbon design from Worlds of Wonder by Johanna Basford. We are doing a lovely relaxed slow colouring of the page and hopefully just taking some time to have a few deep breaths and just enjoy ourselves without trying not to think about anything else while we colour. Now I never do greys. I was going to say I often neglect greys. I never do greys in seascapes. I'm going to do a little bit of grey here. Why not? So I'm just going to grab, I usually only do grey for rocks, and we don't have any rocks. So this is number 8, and I'm going to do the outside of this little one here. I'm going to do it in a similar fashion to this one, where I was going around the edge of this line a little bit darker. What I'm going to do is do that more intense line first. Sorry, I didn't say we're using Staedtler Design Journey pencils. It always says in my description what pencils I'm using, and I tend to list them as well. So if you're trying to catch up with a different set and you're a bit stuck, then look there, and I've got some comparison charts between these and other brands, so you'll be able to go and have a little look. If you don't have these, you should be able to have a go. If there's a comparison chart you want, let me know. I try to do I do all the ones I get asked for, but I don't obviously have every set of pencils. Right, we're going to go lighter for our next one. I have a yawn, I'm sorry, we're just so relaxed we're going to just fall asleep. Oh, my son just yawned really loudly next door, 8:05. That's really funny. I'm just going to try to make this one quite even across the whole thing. So I'm just going to do a slow circular movement across there. There we go. Now these I think are little bubbles. I'm going to leave those. Not do that. I'm going to do those right at the end. We're going to do these 3 here, and I'm thinking maybe we'll do the more variations of the same colour. So I'm going to grab an orange, number 4. We haven't done any orange yet. And for this one, might just do it a little bit dark on this edge, and then a few less layers towards the middle. You can just block it in, it's easier for you, doesn't matter. And then, oops, I'm going to grab number 42, I think this is. Good guess. And do the same with this one. I'm going to do that one in a slightly lighter colour. I think if we'd gone dark, middle, light, it would have looked a little bit odd. And then fade that towards there, so a bit darker just on that edge. It won't really show up that much. And we're going to use this colour that I rarely use. This is the 43. It's our sort of peachy colour, as I say, I rarely use it. I'm going to go around the edge here, just the same as the others. Try and put a few more layers here, just layer up a bit. And then do less as we come towards the middle. And when you're colouring, if you're trying to relax while you colour, which I hope you are, you need to think a little bit about your posture. I'm just thinking about this, and make sure while you're not colouring at this particular minute, if you're colouring along, I'm going to get you some purples actually. Think about your shoulders and the position of your shoulders. Make sure they're not hunched forward. And think about 633. I'm just going to do the outside one. I'm going to block it in actually. Think about how you're sitting. Are you shrimping, as my children say? So is your, how are you in your chair? Is your bottom pushed right into the bottom of the back of the chair? If your bottom is forward and your back is on the back of your chair, and then your arms are forward like onto a computer and your shoulders hunch forward, that's shrimping. It's hard to describe really, so I probably shouldn't have said it, but anyway, just think about your posture. I'm actually sitting forward, my chair won't fit under the desk. This is number 6. I'm going to do this larger, I'm going to do it similar to this one, so darker around here and then fading out towards the edge in a minute. I'm just going to do the darker bit first to find that easier. Yeah, so make sure that I'm sitting forward on, I can't get my back on the back of the chair because I can't pull the chair forward enough, so it's not brilliant, but I'm okay at keeping my back straight, just shifting myself a little bit, and that helps me, and I don't sit in this chair for that long at a time really, not compared to when I'm colouring at my desk. Well, this is the desk too. We have a lot of desks in our house. My son was talking about buying another one as well. So, and the husband was. I don't know where it's supposed to put all these desks, but you know, I think we're just going to build an imaginary extension. I don't know. Anyway, thoughts flying around. This is 62, and for this layer, I think I'd do similar. I think I'll layer up a little bit around this circle and then fade out towards the edge. It's quite a small space, so if you're struggling to fade like me, don't worry. Do the best you can. It isn't necessary anyway. The colour still looks pretty. And our last one is this quite pale one, 602, for the centre. And what I'm going to try to do, it might not be possible with the pale one, is to try and make it a lot darker on the edge. I'm not going to be able to make it a lot darker, but more intense on the edge. So I'm just layering it up and then a bit less towards the middle. Like that. I've been looking for some freelance writing work, which I thought I could squeeze in alongside my colouring and videos and things, but unfortunately I haven't been able to find any. I haven't looked that hard. This is 359. I just advertised a few things on a particular website that I used to use, and that didn't lead to anything, so that's a bit of a shame. I may need to look elsewhere. I am getting a little more money in from this, but over the summer I know it always goes very quiet because people go on holiday, and often, this is 35, often I do a little bit less in the summer because of that, but I wanted to really try and push and see. My niece had some ideas. She said I should approach companies for sponsorship. That would be fantastic. It would mean I would have to sort of do an advert in my video, but I think it could be worth it. Depends what it was. So I've got to think about what sort of companies to approach. Obviously they need to be big enough to have an advertising budget, but likewise small enough to be interested in someone small like me, 54. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I think a light layer first, so it's a little tricky to know who to contact, and then on either side a line along the edge, because people who manufacture pencils and make colouring books and things, they don't pay. So if they want you to advertise their pencils, I'm going to use the darkest one we used, the 359 for the middle. If they want you to advertise their pencils, they send you some and ask you to show them on a video, and that's it. They don't pay you anything. So you get some free pencils, which is lovely, but it doesn't pay the gas bill, you know. And I was actually reading a fascinating article this morning, actually. I'll do this star. It's like a starfish, isn't it? And I'm going to do it in yellows. Where should we start? I know. And it was a young, not young, well he was young, 11. Going to do the middle, going to try and do what I did with this one, which is go around the outside and a bit more in more layers and lighter in the middle, but as it's yellow it's really hard to show up. And with this out now, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to try to make it a little darker along the edge of the star. So I'm going to do that first, put lots of layers in all around the edge. I'm trying not to press too hard, I'm trying to just colour over and over to layer, and then we'll come back and fade it all round in a minute. So this guy who was he was a gamer, streaming Mr. Beast went on his channel, Mr. Beast being, I think he's the top, one of the top YouTubers, and gave him a shout out, gave him some money actually, gave his channel some money, which is something that Mr. Beast used to do, just go on to random gamer streams and give them a big donation if they do something, you know, in their stream, nothing too silly, just, you know, something to do with the game. And it sort of encouraged him to sort of push harder with his channel. So that was interesting, but it's not something that you can make happen, you know. They do talk about collaborating with other people, but you can only really do that on a live. You can't do that on a video so easily unless you can actually meet up, which is not something I can really do with people very much. This is 110. I'm going to do just this middle section, and I'm going to try and fade it from the centre outwards. I don't know if you can see that, I can see it. So I'm trying my hardest to make sure that I cover every bit of white paper with some yellow, but I just want to do less as we come outwards. And then I might do a different colour. But it's just thinking of new ideas really. My Ko-fi has been very, very good, and people have been extremely generous, and it's sort of drawn attention to the channel a bit as well by giving freebies away, and it's really nice to do that. I've really enjoyed being able to produce things that people have been making use of. It's really lovely. And obviously I'm assuming the videos are that, you know, something people find useful too. So that's number one. But you know, it's rather good, and you know, a percentage of people will leave me a sort of tip or donation when they download, and I know not everyone can or wants to, can afford to, feels it's worth it, etc. But some people do, and that makes it worthwhile. And you know, even if people just send me a little thank you, it makes it worthwhile too. What colour is this? A strange colour. We're not going to use that one, it's more of an ochre. I'm going to use 10 on these last few. So it's that's been a good, useful thing. And I know some people always watch the ads on the YouTube videos and that realising that that's what brings revenue in. If you're a YouTube premium viewer, then I get some revenue from that. Anyway, that I've got all these to do. I can do some of them. I don't know how long, whether we'll have time to do all of them. We'll just see how it goes. So I'm going to use the number 27 to start with. We'll do the one here nearest to the star, I think. And I can do this, just start the centre. I haven't really planned what I'm doing. Just start the centre, make it more intense there, and then just fade it off like that. So darken around the edge. Makes it, oops, look a little bit different. And then we'll go to 299 and do these little petal shapes. I'm going to try and make them a little lighter towards the bottom of each. Quite tricky. But I don't know any colourists that get sponsorship. But my niece said, don't wait, just go to companies and ask them. I was like, interesting idea. And they can only say no. This is 23, you know. So I have been approached by a jewellery company who want me to advertise their jewellery, but they just want to send me a bit of jewellery. And firstly, it doesn't feel like a good match, you know, jewellery and colouring. And secondly, I don't wear jewellery, so I'm not interested in getting any free jewellery. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. That's not really right. I can do a pink. I know we did pink here. We're going to do a sort of a different shade of pink. So this is 61, so it's more our sort of bright pinks. Yeah, we'll do it here. I'm going to try and do this circle a bit like that one, so darker around the edge. And it's not a full circle, but we can make it circular like that. There we go. And then we'll use number 20. So yes, I'm thinking about, I don't think that necessarily like art channels and things are the way to go. Here I'm going to go darker where these lines are and then fade towards the edge. So I was thinking maybe meditation apps, things like that, you know, something calm, but we'll see. I'll have a think. I'm just thinking it over really. It's a big step and a bit of a scary one, to be honest, but we'll see. I don't know why I think it's scary. I shouldn't be scared. Number 3, gonna do, ooh, that was a bit blurred, wasn't it? I'm gonna do this large one here. Again, I'm gonna do it darker here. It's easier to do it that way. I need to sharpen this, so it's very blunt. But anyway, I'm thinking about that all the sort of on and off and trying to decide, you know, what would be a good match and what to do really. You know, no one's got much money, no companies. I don't know if they have like advertising budgets anymore, you know. I guess I need to look at places that do get sponsorship and who sponsors them. And then I could use them. Approach them. 30. I'm going to go dark here where these lines are. But it's, as I say, it's finding something that's the right fit, you know, and also that I'm happy with. I wouldn't, there are certain things that morally I wouldn't want to use, you know. Also, I don't really have enough subscribers, you know. Not most big channels, most channels that have sponsorship have much more, loads more, 31. But we'll see. My niece has actually got to try and find money for something herself, in that her boyfriend has written a piece of software with a group of others, and they want to either find a sort of publisher, I don't know what you call it with software, but you know what I mean, or find someone who's going to sort of give them money to work on it more, sort of thing. So she's going to be approaching people like that. This is 703. What you can do with that sort of thing though. I'm going to not do that centre. I am going to do it, just not in this colour. What I think she's going to do is possibly approach people who are interested in playing a finished game. 76, some people will be prepared to pay early so that they can maybe have an early access, but their money will be used towards developing the game, sort of thing. now. It gets quite tricky as we move on to decide what colours. You know, we've got 4 little bits left, thinking about what colours to do. We've done 20 minutes today though already. I might just do one little green one. I'm going to use number 38, it's bluey green, for this one, and then I'm going to stop and we'll leave it for today. Come back tomorrow, do a bit more. Now I am aware that on day 1 we did a bit of shadowing, and since then we haven't. I don't really want to do it. You know, takes a while, and I don't know how good it looks on this particular picture with these particular pencils, so I'm not going to do it. If you want to, you're absolutely more than welcome to have a go, but I'm just not going to do any more of it, really. Right, I hope that you have a super day, and that you'll come back and join me tomorrow where we work on this a bit more. We'll sort of finish this and maybe, you know, move up there. So we're moving along slowly, having a, you know, just gently and slowly, and enjoying ourselves. So thank you for watching. Hope you have a super day and happy colouring.